poems can tell you more about who he is than I could do with any kind of introduction. So I'm just going to welcome him up to the stage.
I'm pretty much just gonna, I don't have that many, so I'm just gonna go through the ones that I have in this book. You've heard a lot from, you're gonna hear quite a few from the book, so the hope is you're gonna be excited and run out and buy the book. The worry is, you'll say, well, I heard them. I don't need to buy the book. Anyway, here they are. This is, the first one is called Laughter Makes the World Go Round. I can't spread love because I just don't have enough. But I love to spread laughter, carry it like cash spilling from my pockets, hand it out to strangers, friends, colleagues, even enemies, as tips, as advice, as succulent nibbles. Laughter is double-edged. Anger is its father, a blade that slices, leaving raw wounds in tender flesh. Anger is those wounds, and salt in those wounds, and venom in that salt. So I won't spread anger, and I can't spread love. I'm no Cupid with a quiver full of arrows. My love quiver is straight out empty. What arrows I do have are more ambiguous, with spikes and sharp edges. I'd love to shoot them about randomly, aiming straight and true. Laughter in my quiver, laughter in my pocket, and ointment rich and creamy, cool and invigorating. A salve that transmutes water into wine, pig shit into gold. And I noticed a little, tiny little typo, little punctuation error. So, if you buy the book, you can look through and see if you can find the punctuation error. Okay, next one is called When My Wife Gave Birth. When my wife gave birth, she gave birth to cats, a feisty calico and a tabby who purred so loud it about shook the world. I said, isn't something the matter? Don't most women give birth to human babies and not cats? She threw me a look, half glance, half glare, as if to say, what more did you expect? You, who could never give birth to anything. In all likelihood, my wife and I will survive our children, leaving us lonely and alone to live out our days. Okay. Next one is no more optimistic. This one is called The Force Is Not With Me. I am the guy in a red shirt in every episode of Star Trek who dies in the first scene or two. I am not Spock. I am not Kirk. I am not the guest vixen in a low-cut blouse and mini-skirt. I am crew member number 3. In our own minds, we are all the hero. A colossus astride history, Xena, warrior princess. A wise man who realized his true significance in the great script of life, recently threw himself in front of the morning metro train. I was late for work. How thoughtless of him. This is, of course, the classic original Star probably is not as good as some of the later, but in my mind it's the best because I saw it when I was a kid and that's how it works, right? Okay, next one, I have no idea why I wrote this poem because David, who edited this volume, said, why don't you write the title poem? I don't have a clue why you picked I've never actually written a poem on assignment, like write this poem with this title. This is probably the only time it will ever happen. But here goes. It's called Music of the Aztecs. Hearts ripped from bodies, rivers of blood, punctuated by the frenzied heartbeat of drums, soothed by the soul of woodwinds. We will never hear Aztec music, a barbaric civilization wiped out in rivers of blood by conquistadors burying Christian civilization, books burned, legends silenced. There must have been many beautiful days in the womb of Aztec civilization. Lovers admiring sunrise, flutes snaky melodies, sun glinting off pyramids, a courier asleep in the noon heat. The music remains in imagination, misty lies. Some myths were not lost. Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl, smoked mirror and feathered serpent, their names a convoluted music. The two smiled upon humanity, conspired to steal music from the temple of the sun, bring it to earth, to the Aztec people, to fill their days with life. Later they fought, two gods going at each other like jaguars in heat. Tezcatlipoca tormenting Quetzalcoatl like a conquistador torturing the last Aztec. My poor imagination can't begin to conjure up the ghosts of melody and jagged rhythm, lost until the sun grows cold. YouTube can serve up a facsimile in an instant, but no technology can conjure up a deeper magic, nor can poetry's humble words. We can only recreate a kind of cartoon of the Aztecs, the Marvel Comics version, blood and sacrifice, war and worship, drums vibrating, a ghostly facsimile. And I'm sure I butchered the Aztec pronunciation of the gods, but
It's deep, Ethan. What does it mean? The poem is very deep. What does it mean?
you're better at interpreting it. You came up with the title. Really, your poem. Okay, my last poem, which is kind of more like the first, what is it, 3 or 4? It's called, my brother was a historian. He had a certain view of history that's different from my wife's view. So I hadn't thought about this, but maybe this poem is really kind of my brother and my wife in conversation. So it's called Taxonomy of History. There are 3 main branches in the study of history: the history of the past, the history of what happened, the history of what the hell happened. The last, less respected than the others, is sometimes known as the history of one damn thing after another. There are 3 even less reputable branches of history: the history of the future, the history of what might have happened, the history of what never happened. Most historians don't recognize these branches. Even some of the more refined poets look down upon them. Still they are thunderstorms, pummeling fields of cantankerous, yearning weeds, young weeds that sprout from drenched soil and spew outlaw seeds. Thank you.